On example 3, we've got this application question. It says a family in consumer science class is making pillows and blankets to donate to a local shelter. The class has 40 yards of fabric to use. Pillows require 1.25 yards of fabric and take 1 hour to make. Blankets use 4 yards of fabric and take 2.5 hours to make. The class has 28 hours of class time left for the semester. I want to know the number of pillows and blankets the class can make for the shelter. I want to define the variables, write a system of inequalities to represent the situation. I'm going to graph the system in decimals rather than by hand and give at least one viable solution. We're going to spend most of our time, since it's a word problem, writing our inequalities. First thing we want to do is we want to define our variables. We're looking for pillows and blankets. And since we're going to graph it, we want to use X and Y. So I'm going to have X represent the number of pillows. I'll have Y represent the number of blankets. So we've defined our variables. Now, let's write a system. We have two things going on here. We have fabric and time. So we're going to write an inequality for each one. Let's start with fabric. So if we read through this, make this a little bit thinner too. Okay. They have 40 yards of fabric to use. In other words, we can't use any more than 40. Pillows require 1.25 yards of fabric, so we're going to say 1.25x. And then let's look at blankets. They require 4 yards of fabric, don't they? So we're going to say plus 4y. That's going to be less than or equal to 40. So they can use 40. They just can't go any past it. Then let's look at an equation for time. So when I look at time, we know pillows take 1 hour. So I'll say 1x. I don't know if we need to write the 1, but I'm going to. Okay? And then we continue on. Blankets, they take 2.5 hours to make. So plus 2.5y. And the class has 28 hours of time. So that's less than or equal to 28 because they can't spend any more than 28. Now let's type this in to decimals. So 1.25x plus, and we said 4y, and that's less than or equal to 40. The less than or equal to sign is in your keypad. Notice it makes a nice solid line for us so we can see that. And then when I type my next one in, it's x plus 2.5y is less than or equal to 28. Make sure I type that in right. Yep. Now, when I look at this, I can adjust my mouse a little bit here. I've got a double shaded region, don't I? So I can pick anything from my double shaded region. But can I have a negative? Now, you can't make a negative number of pillows or negative number of blankets, so really, I'm looking at just the first quadrant. Also, I have to have a whole number. So I'm going to pick a whole number from my double shaded region. So in this case, for my purple region. So for example, if I pick 5, 7, notice that's in the double shaded region. You could have more than one answer here, couldn't you? I could have 15 and 3 because that's in the double shaded region. Just have to pick a solution that's in the double shaded region, and they're both whole numbers. So I'm going to say they could make 15 pillows and 3 blankets. Now the question is, could I pick a point on a line? Yes, you could. You could pick a point on the line. Like, for example, if I look here, this looks like what? How about if I do 5 and 9? Let's check that one out. So if we plot 5 and 9, that doesn't work, does it? How about 5 and 8? Yeah, 5 and 8. That's not on the line, but you could get those points. Right here where they intersect, that's not viable because you don't have a whole number. I'd have to round that down, like 14 and maybe 5. That would probably work. So if I plot 14 and 5, that's in the viable region. Okay, and that's what you do.